Forgot, chuck off our ship and drown yourself. Make sure, damn you. Ha ha. Bullet. Me rise, me guns them about 10 feet off the ground. Batty boy, I don't dead. A batty boy, my rocket splashed out on the ground. Batty boy, be dead. Push me gun in your mouth, fussy wall don't make a sound. When me say, batty man want march where couldn't in a bad man town. No way, now I can chase the batty boy. Straight bullet, now I can chase the batty boy. Batty boy get bullet in the head, plus chopper, plus dead. Come in that tight pants, you got your lipstick on. Put smoke on till me gun, as a bed of batty boy. Never dead, and the sun will make a batty boy. Can't escape my gun. Me kill the batty boy, the blood clot on. Bullet in the head, I see blood run. Murder them till blood cross. Yeah, them boy are disgusting. We are head at the suit, the record of home film. No batty boy can't come near me. Kill a beer, girl, stick up in my bed like murder them bumbo class. Terrible. They make man a fuck them, but the terrible. Them a take fuck like tell them Shelly. Run shot in at them head chest and them belly. Yeah. You batty boy, I got dead today. Pull up that and stop people and watch. Cause when this one drop, enough bad boy fire shot.
Yeah, boy. Gunshot for the batty boy. Respect the tunes for getting us onto that tune, like. Tunes just started putting loads of posts out the other night. There's about 5 different songs with Batty Boy in it. What's happening anyway, people? Jesus. A bit rusty at this, so you'll have to bear with us, Northern King. Weird that you've come in, mate. Well, I thought you might come in, but first one in. I was at your favourite place yesterday. You might have seen some of the posts. I was up in the Dales. And you know what? It was a year since I was... It's a show that's on every year in the Dales, yeah? You have a bit of everything, you know. It's mainly to do with farming, and it's all based around farming, but I can remember going last year, and I was thinking to myself, Jesus... Fucking another year gone by, innit? Nostog, what's happening, brother? Nostog, you still working nights, mate, so you haven't been to bed yet, or what? He's the gadgees. Hope you're alright, Stevie boy. Mick, hope you're good, mate. Sorry, I'll take ages to get back to you, mate, but I think I've just... text you this morning, brother. Just had a little doctor's appointment there, you know, another bloody phone appointment, man. Yes, my mate. Big up the Slim Reaper there. Yeah, I've just got a spare few hours, like. I've just had I think it's my 4th since all this started, since I've been off work, which is now getting on for 4 months, I think it is. I think I've spoke to the doctor 4 times. 3 lots of tablets. But really was only the first initial appointment they had. I hate talking on the phone, believe it or not. Anyway, yes, Fairy Fizz, how we doing? Big up the Fairy Fizz. I know I've been off ages, haven't I? It just flies over, man. Flies over, and we're a pair of us, me and Lou, we haven't been watching much YouTube, to be honest. But yeah, what was I on about? Yeah, the doctor's appointment, I had an initial half an hour, and I can't believe now that I actually even got half an hour with the doctor on the phone, because the ones since then have all been like no longer than 3 minutes. But yeah, man, I've been on these tablets. Emily, how you doing? Good to see you there, Emily. Steve McGeary, get up there, son. Big up the Steve McGeary. I haven't even checked if anyone else is live. Like I've stopped doing that as well now because you know there's a lot of competition out there. Well, it's not competition, is it? It's not competition, man. It's just there are people who are like you just haven't got time to watch them all, have you? You know what I mean? It's a football. Well, every time we put it on, you know, every time we put it on, I mean, we'll have a little listen every day. And there's been a few things like this week that have like, I don't know. I was going to say surprise, but nothing really surprised. Like, but yeah, we haven't. Obviously, I'm not working, but I'm trying to keep myself busy like through the week when Louise is at work. Yeah, you've got to be in the mood to do these. You've got to be in the mood to do lives or good lives anyway. You know, anyone can just fire a live up and go about the business, but some people can pull it off, can't they? But we haven't really got a title or anything. I'm doing this on my mobile phone as well because I've got to go over the doctors back over to Borough. So probably that's why I've done it on my phone. I'll take you with us because it's a long drive. That you know, fucking boring. It's that long of a drive to me that I have to like stop halfway. I stop halfway for to go to the co-op. I think it's a bit of a force of habit anyway. How are we doing anyway, Mick? What is happening, brother? Stay, Emily. Yeah, man. Slim, are you good? What was I watching last night? Can't even remember. Been watching loads of box sets and stuff. But I did have a little look at my block list, which I thought I could only look at on my laptop because I've got YouTube Studio. Has anyone else got it on the mobile phone, YouTube Studio? It's like when you have it on your phone, even on my tablet, which is a bigger screen, when I go to the Studio app, everything's there, but it's just tiny. Yes, the Nutter. Big up the Nutter. Watched a bit of Nutter this morning. Because I haven't been in many chats, but you know, the other day I think I was in about 4 chats, which is good for me. I'll tell you what I'll do right now. Slim, if you're staying or any other mods, I want to put this link out now and then just, if you're still here, Slim, just stick it out whenever you want, mate, because I don't even know how to bloody pin it, you know. I'll have to ask Nutter. Let's look. Because I'm not used to doing it on my phone as well. Copy. More. Post comment. What is hard graft on your phone, you know? Paste. That should be it. Yeah, but yeah, not the rugby, all right there, mate. Had a little bit of sound on just before you finished, but you had some daft on your head, which is part of the course, isn't it? With you, like that. But the place where I was yesterday, no, it was a year ago yesterday. But Slim reminded me as well, but he already knew. It was a year ago yesterday that I got my first flat cap because I bought it from one of the stalls at the show. I'll have to admit though, yes, Batty boy. How we doing there, mate? Long time no see. I know you've got a few things going on in the old fanbo there, Smithers. Hope you're alright there. Oh, before I forget as well, you might even be listening, but anyone wondering how Daryl Adams is doing, I had a good convo with him last week. I think Dave spoke with him as well. Yeah, man, he was sounding good, you know. Sounding good, man. Yeah, he's had an issue with his phone. I still can't work out what's happened, but yeah, Daryl Adams, man. He said he does still listen. He actually had a little pop at us. He says, it was a bit of constructive criticism. So he said, what's going on in your lives, mate? He said, I'm watching your lives and I'm waiting. Way up. What have we got here? Like, yeah, boy, I'll bring it on, mate. Add to stage.
Took your time up, like, didn't it? Jeez.
You know what? Look at me. I'm out of practice, fella. I'm out of practice, man.
And you weren't that good at it when you did it before.
What's happening anyway, mate? You're in your back garden there. It's looking sunny over the butter there, like.
What about the butter? You're not allowed back in?
You what, mate?
What are you saying about the butter?
No, I'm just saying, it looks nice there in the butter, because obviously I'm a Durham lad now, aren't I?
Yeah, you're definitely not allowed back, you know. Bad.
You know what, though, Nutter? I'm not really missing it, you know. I'm not really missing it, like.
I know.
I thought I would, but...
You found it all scary, didn't you, Moon? So it's all right.
You know what? There's only a few places in Borough, right, when I think about it, where I wouldn't walk on a night. And one of them is not far from you, like, I'll admit that, like.
Doggy.
Well, what's Doggy like these days? Is it calmed down a bit, like, or?
Quieter now, to be honest.
Yeah.
A lot of the ruffians and that moved out, didn't they? A lot of immigrants have moved in.
Is that what it is? Has Middlesbrough got a lot going on with that? Immigrants and all that, like, no, or what?
It seems to be that in North Hornsby, it's going back to, back in the old days where people lived there to work, to have jobs.
Yeah.
And they're paying the rent. And I think it's like it's low rent, so a lot of the immigrants are moving in there, paying the rent, you know what I mean? There's like a couple of them living in a house and what have you. So during the day, it's pretty quiet down there, a few crackheads and that's about it.
Yeah.
No,
Do you know there's a place in the northeast, it's not a million miles from where I am now. I'm not sure what the village is called, but there isn't one like non-English person there. Do you know the place I'm on about?
No.
They just don't put them there. No, not one person. It's weird. It's always been like that though.
I don't mind. I don't care. I don't care where you're from. As long as you're nice, you're nice. Don't be nice to me. I won't be nice back.
Yeah, have you had no... How's your last few weeks been on YouTube?
Been good. I had a bit of a thing you didn't know with the little golem. Yeah,
I haven't been watching that much, so probably caught an hour, a few hours a day, you know, like if there's been something good on, I'll watch it all. We'll try and catch you in the morning. But
I think 50 Gamer and Sly News or somebody that clipped me on Friday, just watching them. Gamer came in trying to give it the big licks because I talked to me kids on the way out the door and all that. So I just blasted him.
What's his beef with Torbs? What's going on with them, though? Like, Torbs is all over, isn't he? Torbs has never had a break, like.
I haven't got a clue what their beef is about to begin with. I'm not sure, but I know there originally was a list of people he wanted to fight. There was 3 on it, but then he took me off it. It looks like
I bet you were glad about that, weren't you?
Well, I was looking forward to the best, 6 months for kicking him. That'd have been all right.
Little bit of a rumble there.
Coming anywhere near me.
So you went to Flamingo Land the other week, didn't you? Did you go? Were you staying in one of them chalet things, like?
I stayed in a caravan, but we're going to aim for staying in the chalet next year.
Yeah,
You know,
they're all right then. Chalets, like. Did you get the weather? Like, was the weather all right?
boiling, mate, proper boiling.
Oh, was it? It ain't. That makes all the difference, though, doesn't it?
Well, it wouldn't bother
Especially
me.
on.
I'll
I
climb
know,
easy.
Who wants to go on them rickety roller coasters, right? When it's pissing down, it's bad enough going on them when it's sunny, but
You see,
you know what I mean?
Moon, you've got the perfect excuse. Oh, the weather's not too good, so I'll go on tomorrow if it's drier. I hate them.
Yeah. I was at I was at the show where I got my first flat cap yesterday. Remember it? That was a year ago. Fucking year ago, mate.
And where's it gone? You haven't got it on? I sleep with one of mine.
You know what? I took it with us yesterday and I left it in the car and it was red hot as well.
Well,
you know what I was going to do? Well, I've knocked on the head now, right? But this is when you know that, like, you're not right in the head. I was trying to grow my hair and my beard. I wasn't going to cut my hair or my beard, right? That's how fucking mad I've been.
Yeah.
But it had to go like those. Louise had stopped, like, talking to us.
Yeah, I'll let you
And
know.
I looked like Santa. It was all grey, mate. The more it was growing, the greyer it was getting, yeah. Silver fox.
Looking like Ravanelli on crack.
I know, yeah. Okay, hell. So what you doing today, like? Who are you going to annoy today?
Nobody come to see me anymore. Mick, sorry, fucking Mick Moon even.
Yeah.
They don't see me anymore.
Where's Lordy? Where's Lordy at? Lordy doesn't come in here anymore, the little batty fish.
He doesn't come in man anymore.
He must be busy. He'll be busy when he could clean the windows in, he perving and that.
Hiding under his bed, Moon. That's where. Under my bed.
No, so you remember that? Do you remember them films from years ago? What was it called? Confessions of a window cleaner and all that.
I'm not as old as you, Moon. Remember, you're 60. I'm only 48.
Oh, you should be able to remember them. Like, it was like soft porn. You know what I mean?
Oh, well, you'll remember them, won't you? You'll have been well into that. That's why you wear glasses.
Yeah, Slim will remember them. Slim remembers everything. I think it was Robert. This fella called Robert Asquith, and he played in all of them. And he was a right dirty little perv, you know, like Lordy.
Yeah, like Lordy.
Are you nutter? Are you still doing them vapes like that?
Yeah, what are yours like?
Mate, I tell you what, these peas, right, are the reason why I haven't been doing lives, I think. Honestly, mate.
You'll have to drop me one, I'll tell you what they're like.
Are you, well, these are Jungle Boys, them other ones were like, I think they were Runts, weren't they? Yes, Nostog. Ian Beale, how are you doing?
Runts and Litty or Dabwoods.
Well, I got told, right, that you're not allowed to put any more than that. Whichever chamber you get, you'll only get the same amount of oil in because you're only allowed to put that much in, however much is in there. But you don't need it. You don't need it, man, honestly. I don't know what it's like for you, Nutter, but I could have a big list, right? On Sunday night, I could write a big list of all the things I need to do on Monday. Get up on Monday morning, have a puff of that, and now it's getting done, mate.
Oh, no. If I don't, then nothing's getting done if I don't.
Exactly. I'd never understand that, mate. I'd never understand that. It's like when you used to go, like, I know I haven't been to work for a while, but there's people who used to work with, like, if they didn't have a joint on the morning, they weren't going to work, basically.
Yep. Please, the man.
Is it?
I don't know. Man's fecked. Man's riddled because of drugs.
You're just like, oh, Northern King, how you doing, mate? What was I going to say there? Tobbs is going on holiday, and was he packing a suitcase?
Go to Sri Lanka, is he?
Sri Lanka?
I can't think. Yeah. I've been calling him a Sri Lanka forever.
Sharankers, full of sharankers, isn't it?
Yep.
So how was the fanboy? I was Mrs. Nutter. I haven't seen Mrs. Nutter doing anything for a while.
Oh, good. Mrs. Nutter's the oldest one's just gone to college. The youngest one's just gone to secondary school. No more school runs. I'm just left to my own business every day, just pissing about.
Who painted that behind you then, Nutter? Did you do that in the end?
I can't spell my name, then
I
man.
was
Write
going to
it or
say,
put it on a wall.
I was going to
Oh,
say,
Tim
it's
Jacob.
very neat for you. And it's spelled properly.
Exactly. If I spell my name right, there's something fucking wrong with me. Have seen the little people? Look at this. Put it on your hat, yeah. This will be good for you with your flat cap when you're getting your balls, when you're going out on a night feeling ball. I mean, collecting balls.
Yeah. Oh, loving it. What's that like? A miner's thing? Miner's lamp?
It's just a little tiny LED light thing that hooks onto your hat.
So we use that what when you go burgling or?
Yeah. I use Morse code. I'm here.
Good. Yeah, I've went past me flat a few times, you know, not that. And for the first week or two, there wasn't much going on, but then the last few times I've been past, you know, the driveway.
Yeah.
Just absolutely full of crap. They must be gutting the whole flat. Must be taking everything out, starting again.
Probably will. Probably floorboards and all that taken up for and starting. See, so you should have let me shoot loads of holes in the place. It'd have been well good.
I know, yeah, I know. So now exciting happening in the borough then? Same
as always, nothing happening. Nothing ever happens in Middlesbrough, does it? It was that hot the other day. People were phoning the fire brigade. They thought Middlesbrough was on fire. We don't get that weather.
No, it has been like it. Oh, you know what I've ordered, Nutter? You know what I'm waiting for today? Which I've been wanting one for ages. You know, hedge cutters.
Yeah.
These are the Pinnacle Low 250 quid they are from that G-Tech. I've seen the adverts for them.
No, if it gets too big for me, I just give one of the lads a walk past 15. They'll say, I'll do your garden for £15 to say, yeah, come round and do me bush.
Well, this is the thing. We've got like a little bush out the front there. Well, I say little, but it's decent size. But it's like it's like a privet, you know. It gets out of hand.
Yeah.
So Louise has been paying somebody £40 to cut it. Right, it takes him about 20 minutes. Right, and I thought, what the fuck? So anyway, these G-Tech ones on the telly. This G-Tech bloke, he's like it's a bit like Dyson, you know. He's like invented loads of stuff like cordless stuff, makes life easier and that. But these hedge trimmers, 250 quid, mate. You can do anything with them, you know, like, they're the best cordless 250.
What you can do is you can trim edges. Yeah, these 250. The trim edges, they won't boil an egg. You know what I mean?
So I've struck a deal, right? My mother's got some conifers that need trimming, right? Like they are about 15 foot. So I said to her, you go halves with me and I'll keep on top of that for you forever now. And I'm getting it for 125 quid and I'm getting like, keep it. I don't need to cut a few hedges and got your money back, haven't you?
Yeah. I once bought a chainsaw, ended up going around cutting people's trees down.
A chainsaw, well, that'll be about right, wouldn't it, for you?
That was good, man. I ended up a tree with my belt tied round the tree, cutting the top off a tree and then coming down and cutting a bit more off. Yes, man. Like a little monkey with a chainsaw.
Am I right in thinking did you say you were doing something with chimneys?
I used to be a steeplejack, yeah.
Steeplejack, that's it. So what do they do, steeplejacks? Do they still have them, like?
Years ago, it would be steeplejack. You put the ladder up the side of a steeple and done whatever needed on a steeple. Nowadays, you're more likely to go on a roof somewhere or put a new sheet on a big building. But it's everything that's over about 200 foot.
That's so 200 foot. How many houses is that? Steve, you read my mind there. Fred Dibner. I was just thinking he's got a look of Fred Dibner, hasn't he? Do you know Fred Dibner? You know who Fred Dibner is? Not that.
Yeah, man. Most famous steeplejack going, isn't he?
Legend, did he, Fred? Oh, Fred, like, you look a bit like him, like, not that.
Oh, thanks very much. He looked like he was about 900 years old last time I seen him.
Oh, he was a legend, man. He was a bit of a stud muffin, wasn't he?
I don't know.
Tell you what, quiet like for a Monday. I've got to go over at the borough. I've just had the appointment there on the phone with the doctors, trying to get us to go back to work and that, you know.
So, I've worked as sort of a chimney sweep, Northern King. I used to go to Sunderland, the Nissan factory, and what they do is where the paint goes out, it's a pretty skinny chimney. So they spray the cars and the paint goes out the chimney, and once every about 2 years, they'd shut it down. And that was my job. I'd get on a little chair, go in the top of the chimney, scrape all the paint off, and then come out the bottom, because at the bottom it was a little tiny hole about this big that only I could squeeze through.
Mm. So scary job though, isn't it? How did you fall into that, like?
Well, I didn't fall out anything, because otherwise I'd be dead now, wouldn't I? But no, my neighbour's, one of my good mates, his dad owned a company doing shop blasting, painting, and the other side of it done steeplejack. So I started working with shop blasters and painters first. When they were getting off because there wasn't a lot of money, the steeplejack said, "No, you don't be laying Nutter off, I'll have him." So then I ended up being a steeplejack.
That's basically because he just knows that you're fucking a bit mad, didn't he? And he'll do anything, basically, won't he?
That's what he said. I try and catch him doing nothing. Go around at dinner time, and he's got a sweeping brush cleaning the pavement outside up or something he's never doing now. Because I can't stand still, so if it takes me 2 seconds to eat a sandwich, that's my dinner. I'll go back and do my graft.
Yeah, there is a, because I went past the van on the way to work for years in Sedgefield. There's an actual chimney sweep. That's his job. He is a chimney sweep. He's got a little van. Yeah, it must still be a bit of money in it though, mustn't it?
Not really nowadays. Years ago it was, but nowadays you're going on sites where everybody, the person who is the labourer to the person who's the top electrician, are all on the same price, you know what I mean? So they're some of them are alright sites to get on, but not a lot of work nowadays for anybody, is there?
Nah. Just before I forget, Nutter, I'll just answer Nostog here, because I wanted to mention, I think we've all heard what's been said about Jim this week, you know, Zeus?
Yeah.
Now, if Zeus has said a few times that the only person who's got his number on YouTube is me, right? Which I've got his number. I talk to him, not all the time, but we have a catch-up, or he might give me the odd text, you know what I mean? But I didn't even know that a couple of weeks ago, I must have had a few days off YouTube, and when I come back, I got told that Jim had just said, "Oh, that's it, I've had enough, I'm leaving YouTube." And that was the last I thought of it, and then just all that were Expo's coming out with the other day. Did you hear any of it?
I don't know who Expo is.
What?
I don't know who Expo is. I don't know what's an Expo.
Well, he's just got a big channel, and he's quite big in this community, and he's going in on Jim, like coming out with rubbish. Like I
don't know. Well, it's just YouTube rubbish. You know what I mean? I'll call him a name, he'll call me a name. Now ever comes of it.
Like I just don't get people's thinking sometimes, you know what I mean? But luckily, it didn't go on for long anyway. It sort of blew over. I don't think it got them the views that they were wanting. You know what I mean? But I honestly think that Jim may not have seen any of it, which is good. And I wasn't going to be the one to tell him, you know. So blew over.
Zeus video. I liked my interview with Zeus. It was good.
I know. Yeah. You've done the what? 20 questions.
Yeah, about 32. Supposed to be 20.
You were in a very exclusive club there, because there was only you and Steve Farthing who did it.
I don't want to be in that club. Get me out of that club.
Not him, like he. I see. He's still having his moments. Like he just honestly, he's still mentioning my name. I don't know why. I never did know to the fella, honestly.
Me neither. I was nice to him and he went off it on me.
Morning, Peggy. How are you doing?
It's funny. It's a laugh. Whatever he says is untrue. Whether he says the sky's blue or so and so's a murderer, all of it's lies. So I just laugh at it.
Have you spoken to PP much? Just a little shout out to PP. I know he's out to put his dog down, I think, this morning. We've all been there, like, it's not good, is it? So any pets? That's the only thing about having pets, man, isn't it? You know when you get a dog nutter, you've got to get it in your head that at some point you are going to have to get that dog put down, you know?
This is what
they never die on... You never wake up and your dog's dead in the basket, is it? You always have to go and do it. That's the bad thing about it.
Yeah, this was explained to Mrs. Nutter and the kids and all that. Remember, if you're getting a dog, you don't get a dog thinking that it'll outlive you. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Eventually, you're going to have to get. It's like Papa Dom. She's 11 now. Eventually, she is going to pass away. You know what I mean? But
so, I think how long can cats live? Is it 20 years or something?
20 years, I think. Yeah, she won't be going nowhere there. Good life. She gets fed more than me. I'm better.
It's a bad idea. Absolutely crazy, yes. Peggy's in the chat there. Do you know Peggy, don't you? Not the Peggy's been about for time, like.
Yeah.
Legend out there, our Pegs. Yeah, so his dog was called Dutch. It was a little Frenchie, I think, wasn't it? He's got Frenchies, but I think it was the one that goes fishing with him and that. You know, he takes fishing and that, but...
Yeah, he said to get in touch with you, I don't know how long ago it was, because he said to you he was coming near us to go fishing and for you to get me.
Yeah. He still wanting to do a bit, like?
Yeah, man, I don't know whether he's going to want me to go fishing twice, like, but I'll go once.
Well, I've got a river. I've got the river about... it's literally a 5-minute walk. I don't know whether there's any fish in it down this end, like, but you see people with the rods out and that, but it's been a drought, hasn't there, over the last week?
I don't know nothing about fishing.
Oh, well, I don't, honestly, mate. Like, honest.
I want to do it, but I don't know nothing about it.
Dust dog, Nutter, that's what I wanted to ask you, right? I've been wanting to ask you this for ages, right? You know when you're monetised?
Yeah.
Who sorted all that out for you?
I did it.
Fucking hell, mate. My head was absolutely battered with all that. It took me forever, right?
Well, I'm still not getting paid.
No, I haven't had a penny off them since I've monetised, so Nostog don't renew your membership yet because they're on hold at the minute. It's a long story, but the thing is, the short, to cut a long story short, isn't there loads of shit you have to do?
Unreal. I've got to get photo ID, yeah, so I'm having to put in for a driver's provisional licence. Then they knock me back for that online because I didn't have a passport number. I haven't got a passport, so how can I have a passport number?
Yeah.
They're just... So I'm waiting now. I've got to go, but the post office is now shut for a week for some reason. So I'm going to have to wait until next. Yeah, put the form back in for the driver's license. I sent off for the new ID you can get to vote with.
Right. Yeah.
And then I got in touch with that AdSense, and they were like, "No, that's not valid."
That's it. That AdSense, what Northern King? I think that's what Northern King's on about. It's hard work, isn't it?
I've got an AdSense account. I just need them to send me my code and I'll send it back to them. Then it'll be done. And then it's a 25 of every month. If you've got over 60 quid, it'll pay you.
Yeah. Yeah, so I've never had a penny. I've got money in there, right? It's probably about £100 there, but I can't get it because now my memberships are on hold, right? Because have you had a code sent to you by post?
I can't give him my ID, but then you need the code then, don't you? But you moved house, you.
Yeah, that's what's happened, Nutter, right? They've sent it to my old address, but they said, when they sent it months ago, I got an email, they said, we've sent you a 4-digit passcode, it may take up to 3 months to arrive. I was like, what?
Yeah. Now you're going to need ID in your new address.
Yeah, that's what I said to Louise. I says, you know what? I said, I'm going to have to do it all again. And she went, no, I said, I will. And so
yeah.
I wish I'd never done it anyway, you know what I mean? Like, because I don't get anything. It just stops you. It stops you doing a lot of stuff, music and everything, you know.
Nah, I still do anyway, mate. But if it has a red copyright, I delete it. That's all. Every single one of my lives on the morning, it says monetized, but then it goes yellow, so you don't get nothing anyway. Because if you look at my subtitles, it says I'm swearing all the time, but every time I say feck, it says fuck in the subtitle, and I'm not. I'm saying feck.
Yeah. You know this crap that we had with Carl Shield?
Mm-hmm.
Well, Louise had it out with him, last week on his live. I was sat with her and she went, oh, I'm going to tell him. So she said, why did you do that, Another, in his live? And he said that it wasn't him. He said he had his hacked.
Full of it, mate, and he. Few people
that's what we were saying. But he said, I swear out. He said, honestly, I said, but Louise said, why didn't you just come out and say that then, right at the start, instead of not saying anything? So, I don't know.
I make still messages him every single day. If it was a troll, like these, when you get hacked, it's all computers then. Once you're hacked, they give it onto a computer and it just sends all the cack to people, doesn't it?
Yeah.
This man's talking to my mate. He's talking to him on a daily. He's sending messages, put the Facebook back, put your fat controller and all this type of stuff. And he's sending back like LOL and never and stuff like that. You know what I mean? That carries on 6 Facebooks, and a few people have said he's hacked them.
Wow. So have you still not got your Facebook?
And I'm not going to get it back neither, because what's happening is
you, Batty. One sec, we'll have to let him on.
Yeah. Smithers, how we doing, matey?
Don't feel you have to, Fly.
How we doing, my mate?
I'm alright, mate. Bearing up.
Yeah, man, I was going to say you look good there, but I won't lie.
Real shit, mate. I've got to fucking work, haven't I? Can't afford to have fucking time off, even though the circumstances are what they are. It's fucking crap, mate.
Yeah, it is like it, mate. Have you been watching much, like Dave? What's been getting what's been twisting your melon on here?
I haven't been on recently, mate, to be fair. I went in Igos, said hello, that was about it for the last couple of days.
Yeah. I was just saying there about all the crap with Jim. I don't know if you've seen it, have you seen him in any chats?
No. Not since he went off.
I don't think you've seen any of it, thank God, probably for the best of it. I mean, it's not for me to bring him up and tell him, is it? You know what I mean? It's not.
That happens to me, that. Somebody be calling me a name somewhere I don't even know or care, and then I'll get a message with a screenshot saying they're calling your names.
Now, what my opinion is on it, my honest opinion, all four of them that were going at him on Expos that day, they're all a bunch of cunts, mate. All 4 of them are fucking wankers. They can come and suck my chubby chode.
Well, I just couldn't see. I don't know why. You know what I mean? Why Jim? He hasn't even been on.
Mate, how can Dodgy Dave sit there and slag anyone off the fucking granny robbing cunt? Do you know what I mean? Accuse women of fucking raping him and shit like that, and then he's going at Jim. Jim's been a working man all his life. Do you know what I mean? He's paid his taxes. He's a good dad. He's a good granddad. So what the fuck, man? I don't get it. Don't get it.
It's like, unless you know something, not that you be the same, right? Unless if you heard a rumour and it was only a rumour, you wouldn't go on your channel and start spouting it all off, would you? That's one thing you don't do, wouldn't you?
Yeah, unless you 100% know some of the truth, don't even bother saying it. Like, say, same as my rant at Gamer, I didn't say anything to do with any of the things he's been accused of. I just told him straight about the things I was there when they happened, you know what I mean?
That's all you can do, innit?
I don't...
And then you've got to stick to the facts. They've got to be facts, man, you know what I mean? It's one thing I've always done on here. I've never said anything that I didn't know was right, you know what I mean?
Give somebody the wrong label and that it can be very serious consequences.
Yeah. You're just on your little break, like, Dave. Are you still enjoying work, like, or what?
I'd rather not be here, mate, but I ain't got a fucking choice. I just fucking got to get on with it, and my sister's at the hospital at the minute with me nan that, so it's just my fucking granddad, mate. He's got the beginning of onset dementia. Do you know what I mean? He's 84. It's not fucking, his mobility's not that good. I don't know, mate. It's what's going to happen to my granddad. It's all going to be down to me to sort out because I'm the fucking head of the fucking family now. I'm not going to lie, mate. I don't think my head can take it. I'm struggling as it is. Do you know what I mean? To keep it together, it's bollocks, mate.
You know what, Dave? Like, you know the tablets I'm on, don't you? Now, like, you don't take tablets, do you? You don't believe in all of them.
One blood thinner a day, the rest of it can go feck off.
Yeah. So you won't agree with me being on any type of like antidepressant or anything, you know? You won't understand it. But I was the same.
Mrs. Nutter's on antidepressants and all that, and I understand it, and I understand that some people it helps, but I just don't think I need any more. I've had chemicals in my body from being very young to, you know what I mean? I think my way to let myself fix myself, but no, I know for certain if Mrs. Nutter didn't take her tablets, I've seen the states and stuff she gets in. No, they are a good thing. Go to the doctor, take the doctor's advice, not mine.
Yeah. Well, that's what Dave's like. Dave, you know, you couldn't just stop your medication, could you?
No, if I didn't have my meds in the morning, mate, because I've been on them for that long, I wouldn't get up. I wouldn't get up for work, mate. Yeah. It's as simple as that.
Yeah. Mrs. Nutter gets really red and sweaty, and she doesn't want to do anything until she's had that cup of coffee and her meds.
That's me, Nutter. If anything, it stabilises me. Because with my bipolar, I have fucking like ups and downs. Yeah. So I'll probably go down for a couple of days, and then I can be like fucking like I'm off my head, really up for a week, and then it just goes up and down. Where when I'm on my tablets, it kind of stabilises me in the middle, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, well, with depression, that before Mrs. Nutter, I 100% all my hands up. I used to think, why can't I just be happy? Like me, if something's getting me down, I just get myself happy again. But I've seen Mrs. Nutter, 4 kids, and not want to get up and say good morning to any of them, or even look at anybody. If that's some people.
Well, you'll understand, like Smithers has got a house full of kids, you know what I mean, and a dog, and that his house is fucking mad. But that's what keeps you on your toes, man, doesn't it? That's me
with the drug rehabilitation and all that type of stuff. I've got lots of things to concentrate on, so I don't bother doing things I shouldn't be doing anymore. I just do the things I should.
Yeah. Phil Graham's in. He's just asking why did Expo attack Jim. Nobody knows. Nobody knows, mate. But did you notice how it didn't take off though, Dave? It didn't last long, did it? Like they didn't get a full live out of it. Anyway, they didn't get a live out of it, and it's sort of died off now because there's no truth in it, man.
It's a fucking joke, man. Jim's a good guy. I like Jim.
I'm going to have to go, Mum. Got a phone call. Catch you in a bit. On you, Smithers. Catch you in a bit, people.
In a bit, mate. Cheers, Noah. Cheers, Noah. Yeah, man. Yeah, I was a bit disappointed in that. Like, I mean, it's not my favourite channel anyway, but to go in on Jim, who hasn't even been on YouTube, you know what I mean? And he's a Scouser as well. Come on. Everyone knows Jim's a Scouser.
About 3 weeks ago, he deleted his channel. I've not seen him since, mate.
Yeah. PP as well. I mean, PP. Let's just say this, right? I mentioned PP because sadly he's had his dog put down, right? Which big love to like anyone who goes through that, yeah. But I was disappointed in PP. He was running with it as well. I was like, come on, PP. You know what I mean?
Jim, mate. He always used to speak to Jim, and there was always all right. So yeah. I think it's just a case of people running with narratives, mate, isn't it? That's what it is. Same as always on here. If they haven't got nothing to talk about, they haven't got a channel, mate, have they?
Yeah. Yeah.
Simple as that, mate. I'm done with all that shit, mate. I'm done with it all.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you stopped. What was different this week, Dave? How you didn't normally you'd be jumping on, wouldn't you? If you just learned from the past, have you? You would have been jumping on, sticking up for it, wouldn't you, and shit.
I think my nan being poorly, mate, it's fucking just made me look at shit differently. Do you know what I mean? There's more to fucking life than fucking YouTube, isn't there? Especially when you've got shit going on in your personal life. I jump on for a bit of fun. Do you know what I mean? Go on certain channels, catch up with shit, but it's dying, mate. I've had enough of it, to be honest.
Well, I was thinking last night, there's loads of new channels and that, and people are doing lives who like Tunes. Tunes is getting plenty of people in, but you can just see Tunes will just blow out, man, because you can't do it. Yeah, no, he fell out, didn't you?
That fell out with him. I mean, I've got no against him. I just don't like the way he goes on, mate. You can't come on here threatening to stab people and that. What happens if you've got a younger audience watching? You know what I mean? It's fucking the way he goes on when he's pissed, mate, and the shit that comes out his mouth, it's fucking vile. It's vile.
Yeah. Aren't you surprised though, Dave, that that you can swear as much as you want on here, and you can say anything, can't you, really?
Yeah, but it's channels like that, mate, that won't get monetized. Do you know what I mean? It's simple as that. Whether it's loads of swearing or just drama all the time and oh, my head's fucked, mate. I'm not gonna lie, my head's absolutely fucking it's mangled at the minute.
So what's the situation? Is it your gran? Is it your nana?
Yeah. She's my queen, mate. Do you know what I mean? She's been there for me from day dot. Whether it fucking be jail, kids' homes. Do you know what I mean? She's the one that's never ever turned her back on me. Unlike the rest of the family, she's been there constantly. Do you know what I mean? It's just it's one of them things, mate.
You know what, nanas, right? These days, it's we're the last generation who are gonna grow up sort of with your nan and granddad. I grew up with, I practically lived with my nan and granddad, but the kids these days, they hardly even know the nan and granddad, do they? You know what I mean? This next generation.
My kids, obviously, it's my 4 kids. It's their great gran. Do you know what I mean? Not many kids in their life even get to meet the great grandparents, do they? Never let fucking spend time with them like mine have. So they're lucky in a way, but I don't know how they're going to take it.
It's one of those. Like you say, it's how things can just change like that, can't they? In a second.
Literally, mate. Yeah, literally.
That's life, mate. That is life. But you know what, Dave? Right? If I had, these tablets that I'm on, Now, it says everything I read up about them, right? It's only a low dosage, but everything I read up, all the side effects and stuff, it said that basically it can take a couple of months to get in your system, right? So I've been taking them for a few weeks. The doctor rings, or you get an appointment, he'll say, how are you then? And I'll say, well, what am I supposed to be like? I don't know what these tablets do. But now I've been taking them for a couple of months. If I sit back and think what I was like a couple of months ago, I'm totally different, mate. Feel miles better.
Yeah.
So they do something. They do something
Once you get in the system and you're taking them regularly like you're supposed to, not missing days and stuff like that, you will feel better.
Yeah. I still do weird things, but I think it's, people are OCD without even knowing it, aren't they? They have the little, rituals, don't they, that keep them happy and stuff, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that's where I'm like, I'll give myself a few things to do today. And if I tick them all off and I do them, I feel great. But if I don't, I feel like shit. I feel like I've wasted a day or something, you know what I mean? That's the only way I can describe it.
That's what I said to you, mate. With you not working, you need to be still getting up early in the morning and sticking to that routine. Do you know what I mean? So you don't get complacent and fucking stay in bed till fucking dinner every day and just keep yourself motivated.
Also, the big thing for me today is I'm going to see my niece. I've got a new niece. So my brother, who's 30, him and his partner, they just had the first kid last week, the girl. So I'm going over to pick my tablets up and I'm going to go over there and take like a card and a present. But that's something I haven't done for a long time. I've old of a newborn baby. You don't always have it, do you?
No.
You don't?
No.
Tiny as well, aren't they? It was, you know how much she was? £9, 14 ounces.
Bloody hell.
That's fucking huge, isn't it?
Was it a boy or girl?
Girl, little girl. Sienna Ray, they've called her. Sienna Ray.
Right, mate, I've got to jump off because I've got to get myself back.
Nice one, Dave. I'm going to ring Daryl up again later on. I had a good chat with him last week. He seems on form. Like, I thought he was good. Did you?
Yeah, he seemed all right, mate. I don't know whether he'll be coming back on here, though. From what I gathered.
Nah.
We'll see. Well, I
I want to give him
after work, mate. Right.
Nice one. Don't work too hard. In a bit. You still there, Batty? You're just hanging about there, like, are you? I don't think he'll mind me saying, but Jim has just texted me there, so he might be watching. I haven't read the whole text because it just came up on the top of my phone, but big love to Jim. No, always have Jim's back, like, always have Jim's back. And, you know, that's a reaction they want off you, though, don't they? They want people to jump on and argue the toss. And I wish I was more like that, you know. I think if I was single and I didn't have Louise, like, I wouldn't give a toss, you know what I mean? I wouldn't give a toss. But, you know, it's that fickle on here now. It's that fickle that, you know, you put a comment on somebody's video and somebody will screenshot it, you know, and just a comment, man. King, did you see the Spitfires? There was only one Spitfire flyby yesterday over Stanhope. Stanhope show. It was absolutely boiling, mate. But they had a Spitty come over, done a few loops. I think I put it on my channel anyway. King, you used to come on all the time, man. Well, not all the time, but the few times you've been on here. You know me, man, coming in whenever you want, mate, you know me. How's it going, Phil? What's happening, brother? Yeah. That's it though. Some people are just like built like that, aren't they? You know? I think the only way you'll get on this YouTube is like once you've turned it off, that's it. You forget about it, don't you? You come on for it's a bit of entertainment, isn't it? It's a bit of entertainment, man. When you turn it off, you turn it off. I don't think there's anything we haven't seen on here anymore, is there? I've been on 55 minutes now, so I think I can mention golf, can I? So I've been watching loads of golf, which Louise puts up with, bless her. Thing is, see, Louise works Monday to Thursday, and the golf starts on a Thursday morning. So if it was the other way around, there'd be no problem, you know. But I try to have it on in the background, but I'm getting a bit obsessed with it at the minute, like watching it. You've got the Ryder Cup. So everyone knows what the Ryder Cup is, don't they? Got the Ryder Cup to come at the end of the month. Although my sick note will run out by then, like. Golf is cockapoo. You just imagine Nutter on the golf course, can't you? Imagine Nutter and Torbs playing golf. Would like be stuck behind them. It was only a quick one. I know, yeah. Well, the thing is, though, Slim, like, obviously, Danny G, when he does his, he gets his wife, Tony, bless her, she goes on with the camera, doesn't she, so he can play his golf. Like, I don't think there's any amount of money that would get Louise to come round with videos doing 18 holes. It's the end of September, Nostog. It's in Italy. It's in Italy this year. King, you know, you're watching, don't you? Fucking hilarious. Absolutely hilarious, man. Never heard so many excuses in my life, like. It would be like, wouldn't it? Just imagine on the Nutter on the first tee, can't you? King, have you been putting? I think you have, haven't you? You're still putting your dusk. What is it? Sunset pictures in there. I see one yesterday, mate. Beautiful, man. Beautiful. Yeah. So what I'm going to do here, I'm going to leave this running, and I'm going to take this to the car, and I am off to Borough, but via Sedgefield Co-op. That's my little break where I have a little stop. And there's always something happening there. I'll put my camera on. It was where parked in that car was where I seen Action Man. Do you remember the Action Man, my Action Man short? Second highest short ever. Nutter, you win all day, like. Tesco Express. I was alright in the Tesco. Express. It was when it went to when it changed to One Stop, which is part of the Tesco group. It's like Tesco from Wish, you know. They're all proper weird in there, like. Yeah, so I've got that little drive, and I've been doing it quite a lot. Tell you what, though, it's I'm not really one for driving, like. I haven't even put my face cream on today. Better look right, mate. Yes, I've got to go and see my little niece. Yeah, she's how old is she now? 10 days old. Man, it's scary picking up a 10-day-old baby, but I don't know. Is it the same? Is it the same since COVID? I was saying, Louise, you just back in the day when you had a baby and that, you come home, you had the whole family around, didn't you? And they're all picking the baby up and all that coochie. Not now. You don't want anyone. You don't want your little newborn baby like getting breathed all over there or dirty hands all over him and that. That would be my dream job. That little highlight of last week for me. I went on one of my golf ball admissions, and it was a day like this. It was glorious sun. I went over to that. It is quite posh. It's posh. It was where I did that live, where all them posh houses were and stuff. And I had to walk around the golf course there. Unbelievable, man. Just like some out of bloody, like St Andrews there, that place. Not a golfer in sight. This stuff should be, you should be able to get that on the NHS, because better than any Botox or anything and that stuff. Use that once a day all your life. And that's the fashion tips. That's as far as the fashion tips go, like. A moving target, I can imagine. Nutter, don't deny that you have got. You spend 20 minutes in the bathroom every morning on them eyebrows. Did you see that community post I put up as well about that bloke who he took the title off you for world's biggest eyebrows? Right, you'll have to put up with this avatar for a minute while I get sorted. I'm just about to leave the house. I'm going to put the telly on for the dog. She likes this morning, actually.
And you found them all in Barcelona. Well, actually, the ones you just found that I did try in Barcelona.
It's just one eyebrow, not eyebrows. Eyebrow.
Which is just wrong.
Come on.
because it kind of it dilutes the dress, which is supposed to be the star of the show, and makes the legs go floppy, which is don't get me involved in this.
Look, there's eyebrows. They have there's 3 different time zones on those eyebrows.
Go on through it.
Yeah,
Thank you. Right, after all of that, actually get ready for a moment of peace. What was when you learn well, showing signs to help you melt away the stress.
yeah, and it's got the British host of it, who should say she Richard Osmond tells us actually. For that and a whole lot more after you.
No, you always forget something, don't you? I do anyway.
Tomorrow.
Slim, this should stay on, right? Because it will go from, say, it just stays on when it goes from Wi-Fi to mobile data. Sorry about this, guys. Sorry about this. Pick up a Lou Don as well if she's listening in. We'll be working hard. Oh, I'll tell you what, that sun's quite hot. Straight on the back of the neck. The grass has just been cut outside, so you know that grassy smell when it's been raining. When I was at Are we back? Yeah, boy, we're back. 2 secs. I think that was just where we went from Wi-Fi to mobile data. Honestly, you want to see this contraption I am using in here for, you know, phone stand. It's not even meant to be, well, it is a phone stand, but it's not meant to be used in your car. I actually did go out and buy another one last week. Paid £8. It won't even stick to me friggin' dashboard or anything. I'm probably doing it wrong, like probably doing it back and front or something. I've got form for that, like. Remember putting these table and chairs up years ago in the kitchen? Just like a little square table. There's only a few nuts and bolts, but I put the chairs together. And And I was a little bit miffed when the chairs wouldn't seem to fit under the table properly, but they did in the shop. So anyway, 6 months later, my mate came in the house and the first thing he seen was my table and chairs. He said, "What the fuck have you done with them chairs?" I said, "I know they don't even fit under the table." Anyway, when he had to look, I'd put the back of the chair on, back and front. So that's why they wouldn't go under the table properly. Pick up the 70s, 73 all day. I was watching something about 1976 TV the other day. It was on Channel 4. Me and Louise watched it. It was about the supermarkets. Did anyone else see it? 1976. Man, when things were like, when half pences was still out. So I know Northern King's gutted because he has got a half-pence jar. It's devastated when they went out. Oh, does anybody know this as well, yeah? You know pound coins? The old pound coins? So I had a bag full of them, didn't I? Well, say a little money bag full of old pound coins, you know, the ones that you only went out a few years ago. You can't spend them in the shop now, right? But unbeknown to me, the bank will still take them and they'll still take them. You can put them in your bank. But King, I don't think you can put your half pences in, mate, so you might have to weigh them in for copper. I know you've got one of them big old whiskey bottles that your nanny used to have next to the fire, where you put all your change. Someone let me out here on this dangerous bend. Respect. First Golf GTI. Well, I'll tell you what I seen yesterday. Do see there's a bloke 2 doors down from where we live, and he has got in his garage an XR3i, you know, absolutely immaculate. The XR3i is the Escort. There with the kiddies when I passed my tests. Everyone wanted one of them, like. But yesterday we seen I don't know whether it was Mark 1 Fiesta. We're talking, well, we're all 50-ish in here, aren't we? So we all remember the old S Regs, T Regs, B Reg before they started making it all fancy, didn't they? Oh, do you have RS Turbo? Oh, proper boy racer style, that bit. When you see how much these Cosworths are going for now, fucking hell. It's about 75 grand, I think somebody wanted for a Cosworth. I think I'd rather get a used Audi R8 than pay 75 grand for a F-Rage Cosworth. You're not 43, King. Stop lying. Oh, that's what I meant to say, King. You know that day when, whose fight was it? It was Dick Heggies. No, it wasn't. It was Robbie Brown and Ben Hatchett. and I beat you to it and put that video up, got 10,000 views. Pretty sure I got a copyright strike for that, strike. I had to take it down. I didn't even know, because my Google Mail, I very rarely go on Google Mail, Gmail, and that's where all the YouTube stuff comes up and all crap just all crap about your channel and that, and I hardly ever look on it, but I'm sure I've got a strike, don't tell anyone. Just get another 2. Game over, water. You have that dress account yet, like King? What about you, Slim? What you up to, mate? Got any jobs to do today? Like I say, this is, what's this, 11:15. Yeah, I had planned yesterday, I knew what I had to do today. I've got the first thing out of the way, which was the doctor's appointment, which was once a month. Bit stressy. Don't know if it's hard to tell a doctor what's wrong with you over the phone. I think the days of going to see a doctor face to face, unless it's a consultant or whatever, or like a specialist appointment, basic doctors now, I think it's just going to be done over the phone. To be fair, if you like it like that, perfect. I mean, you don't even have to get out of bed, do you? These people who can just lie in bed and talk on the phone, I can't, mate. AJ Smith in the house. You know what the air freshener is? I know, I'll get rid of that. You know what it is? It's a stink, look. Stink. It's stinking anyway. Where is stink? Stink's been getting a bit of shit now. Oh, I think, actually, it's Kelly, isn't it? I think Kelly hasn't been too well, actually, so big shout out there to Kelly and Stig. I don't mind Stig. I haven't talked to him much, but I've listened to plenty. Managed to get himself embroiled in some of the biggest things on YouTube, innit? King, when you do, when you set a premiere up, I've never ever set a premiere up, pre-recorded something and premiered it. Never done it. Can you premiere like a live, a live that's already being done, like you've already showed it on your channel? Can I still premiere that and just play it as if it was live with like a live chat? My mother-in-law's great, and Lisa's mum and dad are great, man. It's me about your nana and granddad. Hell. My nana and granddad practically brought us up, you know what I mean? King, I've been going, I know Cindy has been in here and Julie's, and I will start popping in, I'll have to start making a bit of time for the channels that I like, you know, going in, even if you just go in and say hello or whatever. But I do still watch Cindy and Julie's, and I watch a bit of Flavours, a bit of Jude. Ministry. Sparky. I thought Sparky might have been on yesterday. I usually, no, I'd like to ask Sparky, as somebody who's like monetized, when it all kicked off with Sparky, when some of his videos went viral and whatever. I've always wanted to have a little chat with him about it. I know there's loads of shit. I think they brought him loads of shit, you know. I've said Louise a few times, said, you know, all the shit I've got with YouTube now, it would just be like my memberships are on hold. Just put your payments on hold, people, if we want any members like Slim or Nostog was asking earlier on. Just don't do anything on the channel at the minute. But yeah, man, it's hard work. That AdSense thing killed me off that kick. But I did get right down to the last thing where I was waiting for a 4-digit passcode to come through the post. Never came. And obviously, I've moved now. Don't really want to go back there to check on the mail. So I have a feeling that I would have to start doing it all from scratch again. I was going to say, Stevie, what's because you were always in there, weren't you, Stevie? I've been watching Jude for a long time, yeah, right from the first days when he came on, all the carry on he had with the other Irish fella. And Jude's been on this panel, and you know, I think he's still popping his lives up, isn't he? I don't know, I've just sort of lost my way a little bit with Jude, like with what he's trying to do anymore, Steve. I don't know. For me, it doesn't matter what he's trying to do, it's just Jude, and I just like him as a person, you know what I mean? But I know you were always in there, Steve. I think, from what I've watched, he's got a bit of a relationship with his mods, hasn't he, Jude? And I mean, to be fair, I don't mention my mods as much as I should, because I just take them for granted, you know what I mean? But big shout out to the mods, yeah, but I don't know. Every time I listen to Jude, he just seems to be having a little pop at his mods, or somebody's done something wrong, I don't know. But I hope he's alright anyway. I'm sure he will be on. We're all missing the footy as well, aren't we? Just get the Premiership going, don't they? And I have been watching a lot of Premiership games. Just get it going, and then they have a fucking 2-week break for an England game. Oh yeah, what are that? Fruit flies. Which ones are that? That was what that's what I remember about that programme the other night. They had a summer of '76. They had a massive invasion of ladybirds, because I haven't even seen one ladybird this year. A couple of butterflies. It's definitely something going off with Mother Nature. But on that show, man, people walk down the road. People walking down the beach, however, they were just covered in ladybirds, like millions and millions and millions of them. There was a reason for it. The heat had triggered something in the plants, and something had happened earlier. And it just meant there was millions of ladybirds. Probably the bite as well, like probably the nip you. Steve, you still in? Yeah, but stand-up show yesterday, mate. King, I'd say it was twice as busy as last year. Twice as busy. Exactly the same people there, the same stalls and everything. I should have fired on it live up actually and showed you what was going on, because it was quite good actually. There was plenty going on. They had that Spitfire flyover, which I don't think they've had before. But Louise was telling me that that stand-up show, King, has been going on for like over 100 years now. No, does anybody else? Slim, do you have like a fairground, a fair, travelling fair? Not a circus, a fair, you know, where they have rides and stuff. They call them shows up here in the north. Not in Middlesbrough, they don't. They call it the fair, but when you come a bit further north, they call it the shows. You know, like the travelling fair, innit? Where they take over your high street for a week. And that's what they do. In a lot of towns and villages in the northeast, it's the same fair. They just travel around, take over your high street for a week. Charge £5 to go on the waltzes. £5. £5 to be sick, basically. So you're on there for 5 minutes, yeah? It's £5. There must be 10 of them things that you sit in, you know, what you sit in on the waltzes. Probably get 4 or 5 people in one of them. So that's 50 people. When it's busy, 50 people each go. Man, that's 5. What is it? £250. £250 every arm. Every army turns that fucking waltzer on. We're in the wrong game, man. You know, when you go to the fair, I've seen quite a few over the summer. I've been to a few. Was at South Shields last week. They've got the same thing. Theirs doesn't move. Theirs is like they've got roller coasters and stuff. The fairs, the fairgrounds that move, the travelling ones. Obviously, they're like them rides. They all fold up, don't they? It's hard to imagine when you see them in full flight. The size of them, they all fold up, go on the back of a lorry, and then they move along. But when you look at the mechanism of how they work, them what do you call that one out? We've all been on it. It's basically something's turning, then you've got carriages sticking out like an octopus, and you go backwards and forwards and round. It's only two. All it is the same motion going round at different times. It was never that good at physics and that to go like. Just things look a lot more complicated than they are, though, don't they? Yeah, hydraulics. Yeah, it is. Well, it is. Yeah, hydraulics. But when I looked, the daughter was on this ride, and the guy turned it on, and you know the one I'm thinking of. You know the one I mean. It's basically a hub in the middle, and it has 4 long arms with carriages on the end, or it might have a couple of carriages. And you just feel like you're getting flung right out and then back. When I was watching it, all it was basically was two turntables going at different times, and that's to look at it. Wouldn't explain it, until you looked at much what it was doing. It wasn't doing hardly anything, but it looked the effect of it. But it won't be cheap to buy, will it? It won't be cheap to buy. A bit like a Twisted Stick. A bit like a Twisted Bit. It's like a roller coaster, though, isn't it? Love them or hate them, roller coasters. God knows how to build them, you know what I mean? I'm not the biggest fan. It's the height thing, isn't it? It's the height. Nobody likes height. Is that what it is? Electromagnetic waves. I tell you what, I'm going to have to look up on this week, because they're everywhere now, aren't they? Wind turbines. These big wind turbines that are turned up everywhere. They have loads of them out at sea. I want to know how they work, and why, when it's dead windy some days, why they're not turning. Horrible things they are. There's one at the golf club. It's right next to the first tee, the local golf club, and you can actually hear it. Well, you can hear it. It's like proper loud, and that's just one on its own. Go out off the coast, anywhere off the northeast coast, and you'll see like hundreds of them out in the sea. Must be doing something good. Yes, Quaver. Pick up the Quaver. Quaver, did you have a good old day or what? Because I know you went on a cruise, didn't you? Like a Mediterranean cruise, I think it was. I was telling you about me mother one night. I think it's your mother as well, isn't it? I'm like, see, your mum and dad like the cruises. You finally went with them, didn't you? Yes, Paul. Pick up the Paul too. Amazing. Yeah, boy. So could you tell you were on a boat then, Quaver? Because Louise will never ever go on a cruise with me, she said. She doesn't like the idea of being in a boat. But, I mean, you see the size of some of them now, don't you? Them cruise liners. They're absolutely, unbelievably fucking massive. But at the end of the day, you're still moving on water, aren't you? You gotta... I mean, it's not like the North Shields ferry to Amsterdam. Honestly, I wouldn't wish that on the world's worst enemy. North Shields on the ferry overnight to Amsterdam. They make it sound dead good now, They show you like, oh, they've got a casino and a disco. Honestly, the truth is, you get on there and it's just like, keep hold of your drink, even on a quiet crossing. And the casino is just a little table in the corner, and all the chips are falling off the table, and that as the boat's that rocking that much. Horrible. What did you do without your? What did you do without the buff light lens? Did you? Because I was thinking this, I've been raving on about these vapes and that, haven't I? These THC vapes. Now I know that they don't smell of weed, which I can safely say that they do. This batch does not smell of weed. Although, I think if I was with a group of people who didn't smoke weed or anything, and I put the vapes, and I pulled this vape out, without them seeing the vape, I reckon from the smell of it that you could tell it wasn't normal, but it doesn't smell of weed like that horrible weed smell, you know. Cannabis vending machines. Okay, now. Mad that, like. Saying that though, it's still England. Still, there's still plenty of countries where you can smoke, isn't there? It's only England where you can't smoke now inside in pubs, or is it? I think Ireland's the same as well, isn't it? Sorry guys, I've just made my little stop off at the village. I'll nip into the shop here, and then when I come out, I'll stick the camera on and show you how nice this little village is. Although something always does seem to happen every time I pull up here, though. But if you can bear with us for 2 seconds, and I will be right back. Sorry about that, guys. If you're still there, respect. We'll let me just get sorted out here, and I'll see if I can give you a little taste of village life. It wasn't that bad, that, you know, was it? I've got this. It's a little bit of a. It must be. I don't know. Probably comes under the OCD headline, you know. Because I've been doing it for that long, going past and stopping at this co-op shop on the way to work all my life. I just feel like I still do it even when I'm not working. Say what, I'm knocking some miles up. Knocking some miles up on the old clock. Let's have a little look, see what I can do here. Oh, settings, camera. How's that? I think you'd rather look at that, wouldn't you? Let me see if I can balance, because try to make a roll here. Let's have a look. Oh, I can't press it there, you do. Whoa. This is just big all over this, isn't it? It's absolute best. Yes, I bought a bloody thing. I went out and paid £7 for a new to keep my phone on. You know what? I can't even think of bloody name of them now. Just let me roll this again, then I will take us outside for 5 minutes. £5 a pint now. Well, we paid £5.50 yesterday at that show, Slim, but didn't surprise me. It's about the going rate, isn't it? Lady Godiva. When I think of, I need a new phone, really. I mean, it's not beat about the bush. I've had my phone for years. I'm not even exaggerating. I wouldn't like to think. But if somebody can invent a battery that actually lasts, you'd be a millionaire, wouldn't you? Yes, fact. How you doing now, mate? Real Lady Flat Capper, respect. How you doing? Long time no see there. Long time no see, Lady Flat Capper. Hope you're alright. We had Nutter in earlier. I know Nutter's. I think Flat Capper's bet Nutter, actually. Right, let me show you where I am then. I've got this. Got to learn to start throwing lighters away when they're dead, you know, instead of like just keeping them. Oh, who's moving house, Flat Capper? Oh, man. Good luck with that one. Looked after that clock. I've never seen how shiny that clock is. I don't know if you can appreciate it there. It's the old church. Does anybody else have any traditions like in their village? You know, that's been going on for hundreds and hundreds of years, like they do every year, because they've got this mad thing in this village where I am now. I think it's on Pancake Day, or it's the same week as Pancake Day, where they all chase about after this fucking ball around the village. All the shops have to shut. All the shops have to shut because it gets out of hand, you know. Sedgefield, Blackadder. Stevie, you wish, mate, you wish that can't be a nice mowed lawn like that, eh? One of these villages where, you know, you come up the high street and they try to keep the high street like, I don't know whether it's a medieval, it's got some sort of medieval influence over it, but try to keep the high street, you know, little local shops and just quaint, dainty little things in it. You've got a nice little green here where people just come and chill out, and you've got your co-op. Got about, I'd say there's about 8 pubs in a decent stretch. I only know this place because I've worked here all my life. But I tell you who's from here, Tony Blair. Tony Blair was when he was Prime Minister, he was MP for Sedgefield. He's probably still got a gaff over here anyway, a big mansion somewhere. See, it's lovely. Sun's out at the minute. It's all good. There's some grey clouds over there, man. We only have one pub. Slim working hard there. Yeah, I'm just finishing this rollie off. So we're about halfway at Middlesbrough now. This is like the halfway stopping point. Slim, what's that pitch? What's the quality of this video like, Slim? You know, like the visually, like Can you tell this is an old phone or what, mate? Because I do want to get another phone because I know the cameras have moved on a lot. I know it's like when you're watching live and the camera's shit. I know I've done spot on, nice one, mate. Let's give it a little. I always forget to do that, you know, clean the lens because it's always in your pocket, innit, your phone. Covered in backy and all that. Try to do live with a big bit of backy on your screen. Yeah, this is a Huawei phone. It's not one. It's not one that would have went out and bought. I bought it off somebody at work. Oh, it's about this time of year, conkers as well, isn't it? Let's have a look. They look ready to drop them, don't they? Let's do a live conker opening. Look here. It's going to be a little one, that though. Look, first conker of the year. Oh, that bad boy. Need some actually because the spiders have started coming in, haven't they, in the house? If you like me, Mother Nature. Them ones are best where there's two in them. Cheesies are they called, you know, where it's got a flat edge on it. Yeah, it's something to do every year. I've always had somebody to collect conkers for. Yeah, I've always had somebody to collect conkers for. Apart from myself. I'm a bit weird like that, like I do. Oh yeah, I hate spiders, mate. Hate them. Whereas Louise is one of these where, you know, in the extreme case where I take them on, it'll be a Hoover. I'm sorry. But I have to admit I've hoovered a few spiders up in my time. But Louise, on the other hand, quite happy with using the glass and paper technique. You know, where you try and trap the spider using the. It was only 3 nights ago. Caught a spider in the house. We're using that method. The paper and the glass, and then threatened to chase us around the house with it. I think one of the worst things in the world visually to look at, yeah, has got to be, can remember back in the old days where the school kids used to put a spider in a matchbox. I got these visions of like someone pushing a matchbox open and there being a big spider in it. Whoa. No thanks. Not for me, that way. I know they can't do anything here, and the tiny, well, some of them are tiny, but I think it's, I don't know, it's just the scurrying about bit, innit? It's a scurrying about bit. I'll get rid of that as well, Stig. You know, you can film an MOT for that now. Film an MOT for having too many forest trees hanging down. Steve, have you blocked Emily, mate? I think she's having a meltdown. Wonder if anyone's got me blocked in chats. I never noticed me. But when people are talking to somebody and then you're like, where's so and so? I can't see them. I just realised that I've got DAB radio in my car. I've only had the car a year. I only found out last week. DAB1. Should be 80s. Is anybody watching the Rugby World Cup? In fact, last week, mate, or the week before, I had a great week. It's the first time I've watched York races on, I think it was the E-Bar meeting. But I watched the whole show on telly, you know, ITV. I think ITV are pretty good at it. You know, they turn it into like a full day, don't they? But the E-Bar meeting, it was lovely weather. And I had a little couple of weeks where I was watching the horse racing. Didn't even have a couple of little bets, only little ones. Like, I know you like your horse races there. There's 100 to 1 come in the other day as well. Seen there. Hey, what about that? What about that lad who escaped there? That's what I want to talk about. So, this terrorist is supposed to be on some sort of terrorist charges, which I've heard a few different things. You know, what he's supposed to have done or what he's on remand for. I mean, anything to do with terrorism and that, they come down hard on you, don't they? So, the fact that you escaped, I think the police were baffled, weren't they? Because they didn't catch him on the first day. Then they started coming up with theories like he had help, it was all planned. I've got to say that when they hadn't caught him after 2 days, I was thinking that myself. I was thinking he's got to have help. Then it turns out now, a day later, after 3 days on the run, they arrest him and he's on a bike. Some off-duty policeman pulls him off a bike by a canal in Deptford, a few miles from where he's escaped. You get a feeling, and you knew straight away that he wasn't getting help off anyone if he's having a ride on a bike. He must have pinched a bike off somebody, some kid, and he's probably been sleeping in bloody bushes or somebody's shed, hasn't he? And apparently, when they arrested him, he's just laughing and joking. It's not a big joke to him, which sort of said to me that even though he really is ex-army and he's been in the army and that, so he's got something about him. But Just sounds like he wants to be a bit of a wannabe, and he's a bit of a wannabe. So it looks like he has just took an opportunity there. Got underneath that van. But I wonder, when he does go to court, there'll be an extra charge of what, escaping. I don't know what the actual charge is, escape from prison. But it's going to be interesting to see, because obviously he is guilty of that. It'll be interesting to see how much he gets for, how long he gets for that. I think it's safe to say he's going to be in prison for a few years, isn't he? There's been a few things happening in the news actually there. I think that was the main story, wasn't it? Yeah, he's not quite Raoul mode, is he? Raoul mode did 7 days up in this neck of the woods, Northumberland. Caddyshack, great film, Caddyshack. I'm going to watch that film. I'm going to watch that film this week because I've been on about Caddyshack. Tell you what, being a caddy's not a bad job, you know. You know them caddies, yeah? So, I think for a start, they get 10% of any winnings that the golfer gets. So, if your man wins, like yesterday, the Irish Open, there's probably £1 million to the winner. So, as his caddy, you get the 100 grand straight away, you know. Plus, you get to go all around the world, carrying someone's. I'll say that a lot of people, you don't realise what a caddy does. That caddy is responsible for everything. And you won't believe some of the rules. The caddy's got to know all the rules, you know. There was an incident a couple of years ago on one of the tours where somebody who was leading the competition on the last day, he had one too many clubs in his bag. You're only allowed, I think it's 13 clubs or something in your bag. But the caddy had left a club in there. He must have been practicing, and he left it in his bag, so he was breaking the rules. And I'm sure he got disqualified. And that was the caddy's fault. There's another story as well. What? This is true. Tiger Woods' caddy. Now, if you think Tiger Woods' caddy would make many mistakes, wouldn't you? Yeah. But it was in the Tiger documentary that I watched a couple of years ago, and the caddy admitted for the first time he was at a competition with Tiger, and it must have been the final round. Tiger had gone in the water twice or something, so he needed another ball. And the caddy only admitted, he didn't tell Tiger at the time, but he only had one ball left in his bag. And if he hadn't kept that one in play, he wouldn't have had a ball. But he didn't tell Tiger at the time. He let Tiger play his shot, not knowing that was the last ball he had in his bag. Pretty sure of it. Should say me, shouldn't he? I would have given him a few. Sold him a few. Louise keeps having to go at me now because I've got my boots full of golf balls. The backyard, the back garden's full of tubs full of golf balls. She said, don't you think it's about time you try to sell some? Looks like there's heat waves over. I don't know what it's like for you lot down there, but I think it is the last day. Like a few downpours last night. There's been a few of them prison shows where where they have people who've been inside, don't they? There's a few people on here with channels actually who've been in category A prisons, telling you what it's like. But there has been a few brutal ones on Channel 4 and Channel 5, tend to get them, where they show you like what goes on in there, like it's not for me, like. Yes, I've got to go pay for my prescription now as well, which I hate doing. Does anyone else think it's unfair, even though I'm not working at the minute, yeah? But I've been paying my taxes all my life, national insurance all my life. Now I have to go pay. If I have to go pay, I think it's nearly £10 now for a prescription. But what gets me though is, first time I went, these tablets, they only give me 2 weeks. But it's still £10. Still £10 for the prescription. And I thought, hang on, am I going to have to go all the way over to Middlesbrough every 2 weeks and pay £10? And I'm not working. And anyway, I'm still having to come over Middlesbrough, but they're actually, I get a month's worth of tablets now, so it's only every month I have to pay £10. But the figures just don't add up to that. When you pay your tax and all, like, you don't realise how much you get. Every day on the news, you'll hear an MP will come out and say, oh, it's costing the taxpayer £6 billion a year, and you think, fucking £6 billion a year. But it'll be something stupid. So you think about how much everything else is costing and that, but then you look and think, well, hang on a minute, they've had 25% of my wages for the last 35 years. And that's just me. That's just one person, So the money that's flying about in the government and that. Like, it makes me laugh. What made me laugh? Richie Sunak, yeah. Richie Sunak, Prime Minister, English Prime Minister, with a name like Richie Sunak, yeah. The Mayor of London, Sadiq Khan. Nothing wrong with that, yeah. What makes me laugh is when it shows you Rishi Sunak's flew to India for a G20 summit or something, where he's having a meeting with the Indian Prime Minister about a trade deal. It shows you them like shaking hands and that, doesn't it? And this big like presidential suite, and you think, no way them two are talking about anything, are they? one thing you can't argue about. One thing you can't argue about is that something going on in the world, and the weather-wise and stuff. And every day this week, floods, Greece, mainland Greece, has had some of the worst floods, or is it, in history. Just had a massive earthquake somewhere, Morocco was it? Massive earthquake. They've had wildfires, all the Greek islands. You know, never ever. Just didn't get it. Just didn't get it back in my day. Got long summers, cold winters. Now it doesn't even know what month it is. Can't remember last time we had a white Christmas. The best thing is, Dostog, right? They can't even, all the technology that they've got now, and they show you all these maps and that, from show you images, don't they, from things in space, yeah, cameras in space. And every time you look over England, especially over the last week, you look on your local weather, which is from the Met Office. It gives you hour to hour, like telling you what it's going to be like in a certain hour, and it's, I'll say, I'm not even lying. It's never been right. Ours is never ever right. They'll say it's going to pour down and it won't even rain. But it was funny because I think Louise said something to me yesterday, and I was in another room, said something about the weather, and I said, "Oh, I'll ask my mate Michael Fish." She went, "Who the fuck's Michael Fish?" It's like everyone knows who Michael Fish is, don't they? Worst weatherman in the world, didn't he? He failed to predict the worst storm that England's had for about 50 years, didn't he? Him and John Catley. Yeah, you'd have all these fancy images from space and wherever, and they're predicting the weather in like 2 weeks' time. It's all guesswork. No one knows what Mother Nature's going to do. There's definitely something mad going on out there, isn't there? Oh, rave tour. It's naughty, that rave tour. Like, what is it again? Palestine. Is it a country, is it? You know, one thing I don't get, and I do like to think that I know a little bit about, try to know a little bit about everything. If I'm interested in it, I'll know a lot more. But all that Palestine and Jerusalem and all that, you know, the Gaza Strip, never got all that, but it's all over land, isn't it? It's all over land. But it was the Palestinians and what else was it? You gotta love Quaver's way with words. I was at a Fezzy. Oh, blisters! Like, I know the daughter's just gone back to school there, and it was weird because it was 6 weeks holiday, yeah, but they're going into a new term at school. But there wasn't that panic that there is normally in our house. There wasn't anyway. Don't know whether Louise was just more organised than other times, but there was none of this, or get your school uniform all ready or anything. And it's all just gone back with no dramas and all that, but her shoes. She's got 2 blisters on her feet, on her ankles. It's not worse, is there a tiny little thing like that causes so much pain, mate. Which Fezzy was it like? Liverpool. That's what I miss, stuff popping off in the chat, people. You know what it is, like, not everyone has to agree with everyone, do they? When you're watching live, it's always good to see you. It's always good to see you chat. Differences of opinions and that, Yeah, so my new niece who I'm going to be seeing today, yeah. She was due on this last Saturday, and sorry, the Saturday before was the due date that they had. And things were moving even a month before the due date. I remember my brother saying, there's no way she's going to go like full term, Anyway, he was wrong there because she was a week late. £9. Was it £9 14 ounces? It's heavy, that, like. Heavy. I think Sedgefield Races might be on soon. In fact, I'm going to have a look at the date for that over the sticks because jump season's away now, isn't it? If you like horse racing, in fact, you might have already seen it, but I watched a 4-part documentary called Horsepower. I think it was on Netflix. And it was basically a fly on the wall in the 4-hour-long episodes from Ian Baldwin's yard. I think he was the champion jockey. It was only a few years ago. They had the champion jockey rode for him. O'Shane Murphy, I think he was called. And it's basically showing you everything that goes on, right from them going to the auctions, picking up a horse and all the training and that. Just all behind the scenes. Brilliant though. Here's something that I just found out. So, during a 6 furlong race, yeah? 6 furlong horse race. And I only learned this a couple of weeks ago, and it's obvious. When you watch them on ITV now, they have all these stats and everything, don't they? As the race is going on, the timer's on in the corner of the screen. It'll tell you how fast the last furlong was. Now, granted, this is only the case in horse racing, right? And in the six, 7 furlong sprints. So they'll come out the stalls. Obviously, that first furlong isn't going to be the fastest because they just come out the stalls. You know, they're getting into the rhythm. So it might be 12 seconds for that furlong, and it'll come up on the screen. 12 seconds for your first furlong, and the second furlong, you would think, yeah, it's going to be faster. They're getting into the rhythm. Got a double handful, you know, they hold the horse back. Gets to the third furlong, a little bit faster, maybe 10.5 seconds. And then you come into halfway through the race, you might get the fourth furlong, will probably be the fastest. But then as you watch it, say there's 3 or 4 horses in contention, yeah? You see one of them, it'll look like it's pulling away. And you'll think, fucking hell, that horse is fast. Look at it pull away from the second horse. But then you look at the time and it'll be slower. That horse ran slower than it did the last furlong. So the horse is not speeding up. All the horses are slowing down because they all ran that furlong slower than the last furlong. So when you watch a race on telly, it looks like this horse is finishing like a train, but it isn't. It's just the others. It's slowing down, but the others are slowing down faster than that. And that was explained by somebody in the studio, you know, an ex-jockey was in the studio putting all the stats on. When he explained it to me, I thought, fucking hell. It's right though, isn't it? Because you always think that horse finishing like a train, but it ain't. That when you want to get it, when you big up Richard, lad. Good to see you, Richard. Hey, Richard, I've seen you about lately, mate. I haven't seen you for ages, but you've been popping up. Hope you're alright, yeah, mate. Yeah, and then I thought, well, is that the case, say, in athletics? Well, in athletics, it's slightly different because if you look at something like the 1500 metres, the last lap will be faster than the first lap, faster than the last lap. It's like a sprint finish. So they are going faster. You know, I do like have some funny ways of explaining stuff. Like I might not put it over the right way, but you catch my drift. That's why I never trusted horses, because you know, you can have a favourite, can't you? And it's a favourite. You know, you look at the Sporting Life, 3 o'clock at York, like your six furlong. The first thing I look at, and I don't even back horses that much, but one of the things I would look at is has it won there before? Course and distance winner. That's always a good sign, because you know that it's done it before. You know what I mean? So you know it can do it. It likes the track. It's been there. And then the jockey, because you know who's going to bet anything against Frankie Dettori even now? If Frankie's there, then he's going to want to win, isn't he? And a jockey, let's face it, a jockey can win or lose your race, can't it? It's not the horse. So that's why I never really went over the top with the betting on the horses, because I think there's still a lot of backhanders and that going on in there. In that documentary fact, Oisin Murphy was the champion jockey 2 seasons ago on the flat, which means he's had more winners than anyone, yeah? and that was with a 3-month ban. He got a 3-month ban. It should have been 6 months. He tested positive for cocaine after a meeting in France, but he pleaded his innocence because, let's face it, they're only little league jockeys, but the stud muffins, you know what I mean? They go to parties like everyone else, and they have the temptation of the drugs and everything. And he's tested positive for cocaine, which is a 6-month ban. And he went to an appeal, and that showed you his appeal and stuff on this documentary. And he was leading the race for the champion jockey. But anyway, it turns out he put this story, he given this story that he had been with a girl after a party at a night out. He had gone home with her and slept with her, but it was traces. She'd been taking cocaine, so he had traces of it. That was his explanation. And the French believed him, and they only gave him a 3-month ban. I think he still won the jockey championship. But I think it was Kieran Fallon. He was wrong on money. Kieran Fallon. He was taking backhanders, and he was number one for a long time. But you don't appreciate how small jockeys are, how small they are until you go to a meeting and you see them in the paddock. I always remember, might have been York or Redcar, and it was the first one I'd been to, and I went to the paddock and that, you just see the jockeys, man. I tell you what else took my eye last week at, the all-weather courses. I think Lingfield's probably your most famous one. It's been an all-weather track for years and years and years, but I think Newcastle has only been an all-weather track for a couple of years, I think. And there was a meeting, I'm sure it was Newcastle. There was a meeting on Sky Racing last week. The 3 horses are pulled up in 3 separate races, just pulled up. Turns out they've all broke their legs, so they were all destroyed after the race. 3 horses, 3 separate races on the same day at the same meeting. And even I was watching one of them live, and it was one of the favourites. Just went and set it away, and you just seen it buckle, its leg buckle. I think we all know that when a horse breaks its leg, or it's destroyed in it, basically. So the animal rights people, well, even the people in the studio were saying there's something needs looking at if 3 horses are breaking their legs on the all-weather track on the same day. You know what I mean? Well, look at cheating in sport, right? Fact, you like a bet, but there's no sport is safe from it now, wasn't it? Snooker. A few years ago, there was some bad betting on snooker on there, and somebody got a ban for throwing a game. But when you look into it, it wasn't just about throwing one game. These people who'd got to the player, however, with money, yeah, they're betting on the scoring frames at the end of the game. So you've got to try and make it. Say your man's twisting your arm and he's blackmailing you, and he says, right, you've got to win this match 10-7 in frames. How the hell do you do that? We've all seen it in football. Was it Bruce Grobbelaar? He was taking the brown envelopes. tennis. I've had it in tennis, snooker, horse racing. I don't know how the betting companies keep ahead of it all. Like, just have people looking out, don't they, for strange betting patterns, but it's like I think we've all had through our lives at some point somebody, a friend or a friend of a friend, who said, oh look, there's a banker horse, it's going to win 50 to 1, get all your money on it. I've had a few like that, a few people over the years. I think only once one of them has actually won. Sorry, Stevie, mate, I meant to get back to you there. So who's this Joey Dunlop? My mate goes to the TT races every year. Barry, you know, Bazza, the quiz king. Michael Dunlop, they're a famous family though, aren't they? Wasn't his dad? Is it Joey Dunlop, his dad? Are you off, Emily? Catch you later, mate. Thanks for coming in. Hope you're alright. Oh yeah. Well, there's professional gamblers in there. Make a living out of it. That's their job. They get up in the morning. When you think about it, you're not short, are you? You're not short of things to bet on these days. You can go into any bookmakers and bet on anything. Sure, I heard a story not so long back, might have been this year anyway, it was on the news where a granddad, years ago, say 20 years ago, a granddad or a dad, his daughter had given birth to a boy. Or the granddad was a rugby fanatic, and he's gone in. His way of celebrating the birth of his grandson is he's gone into the bookies and put something like £500 to say that by the time he's 21, his grandson will play for England in the Rugby World Cup. Now, what odds do you give that? What odds does a bookie give? But it has been done. I remember it on the news, and the fella, I think it was football, he said his grandson would play for Scotland or England by the time he was 21, and he'd won the bet. Stevie, them TT races, mate, they're just fucking nuts as though, aren't they? Fucking hell. I mean, I have seen, what's that fella called? He's into his motorbikes and speed. He's into anything that's fast. Does shows on Channel 4. You can see his face now. Absolute lunatic. Remember watching a couple of documentaries where he did at the TT races. Basically on a death wish, aren't they? Fucking bad they are. Yeah. But that's it, fact, because you don't realise that these people now, these sportsmen who are just, you know, they're just starting to win stuff now. You don't know what they've been through and how long they've been playing that sport. Yeah, it's just that name, Dunlop, in it, Stevie. It's synonymous, isn't it, with motorbikes and Dunlop. No, Stock, as a gambler, yeah? As a gambler, are you a fan of the cashing out or not? When Because I think that cashing out, don't know, a bet's a bet for me, innit? Bet's a bet. And the way I hate the way they work it out as well. You know, especially in a football coupon. Might be 10 minutes to go and you need a goal. And it'll offer you some crap. There's only ever one win about the bookies. Yeah. But you were kicking yourself, weren't you? It's sod's law, that though. If you hadn't took it, mate, they wouldn't have won. If you'd have let them bet roll, they wouldn't have won. Do people believe that people are lucky? Have you got a lucky friend or somebody who's lucky? They're well known for being lucky, you know. I grew up with a kid, always gambled, but he was lucky. He was lucky, and he won the lottery, 6 numbers. It's one of them. The lottery's one of them. It's like, especially when it gets to 100 million or something, and somebody's got to win it. You know, and you'll say it's £2 a ticket, but somebody's got to win it, haven't they? Why can't it be you? You know what I mean? Used to work with a fella, and I can remember you'd go in his office every Thursday at tea time, and he'd be filling the pools in, doing the pools, spot the ball, the lottery, and all in all, be about 50 quid's worth a week. Fucking spot the ball. Who the fuck wins on spot the ball? Spot the ball, man. Now the Irish lottery is different, isn't it? The Irish lottery. But it's not advertised enough, is it? You only know about it when you go in the bookies. But they have a different system, don't they? And it is. You get something for like 2 numbers, don't you? The thing about the lottery is, the 5 numbers and the bonus, it differs so much, doesn't it? It depends whether the jackpot gets won. One week you could have 5 numbers and the bonus number back in the day, and you'd be thinking that's it, you made for life, and then you come out with like 10 grand or something, and you think, hang on, it's 1 number away, and all I'm getting is 10 grand. And then another week, if the jackpot hadn't been won, it might be $500,000 for 6 numbers, 5 in a bonus. But we were late starters in the lottery, weren't we, England? We were late starters. Remember the first week it came out, everybody was on it, weren't they? Everybody. Everyone thought they were going to win. They don't even make a show of it anymore. It used to be a big thing on a Saturday night, didn't it? The lottery show where they draw the numbers live. Can't even remember last time I looked for the lottery numbers. But do a lot for charity, I know that. Yep, Euro Millions. Oh, you would be. It's the thing with motorbikes, isn't it? It's not the It's not the falling off the motorbike, it's the impact, isn't it? It's what you hit when you fall off the motorbike. That's what kills you. But you can imagine a wall. Imagine a wall could do you some damage, like. Yeah. Yeah, I think 3 numbers in the Irish lottery, you were getting about 500 quid or so? Well, I'm in the promised land of the borough now. I'm going to go and get this prescription, and then I'm going to do my final bits. So I'm going to sign off here, people. Respect to everyone who's been in. Stevie, Slim, Fact, Emily, Nos Dog, all the legends. Big shout out to Daryl Adams, who might be listening. Jim, if you're listening, big shout out, mate. Hope you're good. Everyone who's been in. Peggy. Slim, we are going to come back with a quiz as well. I know I've got to do this, get these quizzes going. And don't be surprised if you get a late night one this week as well. Because I think the late night one's always good fun as well, you know what I mean? But until then, guys, have a good day, everyone. I might catch you in the chat this afternoon. If not, till next time.